one. Hello, all. Welcome once again to Blaine's Escape Corner, your 2023 anime-related podcast, me show, whatever this is called. Our little corner of the internet where we get to hang out, talk about the things that help us escape, anime, video games, whatever we want. We have got quite a bit to talk about, quite a bit to catch up on. And then some things to go over. All right. Welcome back. It's good to be back. It was good to have a break, but it's good to be back. Was up? Yes, I am the Blader. You know that. Welcome, E-Class. We are your people. That's true. That's why the corner exists. Finally, have an anime stream to listen to at work for the foreseeable future. For right now. Serranos, Michael, E-Class, yep, hi, whatever, welcome, Flawed Man of God, how are you doing? We are cracking a 1 cup of Tanuki today. Oh, it's been a while since I've done this. Let's hope I don't spill it all over my keyboard like I do from time to time. Kampai, everyone. Yummy! Alright, where do you want to get started? Let's get started with let's start at the end. Let's start with what the channel's going to be doing moving into the future. Blaine, talk about villainous shows and how you like them but actually don't. Sure, we can do that. We can easily do that. They're good, but they just always seem to get kind of boring to me, and I can't express why they are that way. They just fall off of my radar. I go to watch anime and I think to myself, do I want to watch this villain anime or do I want to watch this other anime? I'm going to watch other anime as opposed to the villainous anime. And it shakes out, it shakes down, it does that, you know? They're fun. They're typically well made. They're unique enough at this point, but they are starting to become their own sort of genre with its own genre tropes. So I'll be interested to see sort of how those tropes get shaken up. But they'll move forward. They'll move forward. I probably hate women. You're probably right. You probably got me right. You've cracked the code, Serranos. You figured out why I don't like my life as a villainous animes. Okay. All right. So future of the channel, because as you all know, one of the things that I've been doing is getting my food truck ready so that I can have food. Hold on, let me get this chair all the way up. Everyone needs to see my shirt. Cause cat girls are awesome. Food truck. So I've got the trailer. I'm getting the equipment. It's getting installed. We're still waiting on sign-offs from L&I. Then once they sign off and everything, it'll cascade to health department and fire service and all of that. Once that is complete, once we have all of the sign-offs, we will be running it on a sort of a Wednesday through Sunday schedule. Is when we hear the chair farts. So we'll be running it on Wednesday through Sunday schedule because we will be pairing up with various breweries, because something you can't do in Washington State is sell alcohol from a tiny box that you drive around. As much as I would love to just have beer on tap, it's easier to pair up with a brewery that's going to be serving the beer and you serve the food. So because we're going to be pairing up with them, we'll be having late night, and by late night I mean like 9 o'clock or 11 o'clock service windows, and then clean up and everything after that, which means I will no longer be able to sit here every Monday through Friday at 7 o'clock. So the show will be transitioning to, yes, it will be transitioning. So 2023 is the year of the Blaine's Escape Corner transition. We will be transitioning to a once a week show, most likely on Mondays, potentially on Tuesdays, but most likely a once a week on Monday show where we do sort of the same thing that we've been doing, but is just a single big long show focused more on like all the anime that we're catching up on, and just sort of what's going on that I've caught throughout the week, basically. So that is the current plan. The current plan is to transition to a weekly show, which means we will no longer be the largest Monday through Friday anime live stream on YouTube. So it hurts. It hurts a little bit to give up the title of largest anime live stream, but there is something you can do if you want to keep me here. You want me sitting in this seat. You like sitting there in the chat and making fun of me and poking me and making all this googly happen. Share the stream. If the stream becomes a thing that makes me money, I will then hire someone to sit in the trailer to serve food at late at night, and I will open it and then just pass it off, and then I'll come here and I will sit and I will stream. So if that's what you want, share the stream. Let people know. Get him into the escape corner. Be like, hey, we got to get this stream monetized and get him to do this instead of making money to support his family. So there's always that, but we will be changing to a weekly stream in the meantime, and just focusing on looking at shows that we're enjoying throughout the week. Maybe a little less of the sort of article day-to-day type of stuff, and more just literally like, what are we enjoying? Let's just talk about the shows and what the shows are doing. Stick to reviews, that kind of thing. But we will play it by ear as far as content goes, but definitely going to be changing to a once a week type stream. All right. Cat Girls what am I selling from the trailer? Cat Girls. No, I'm not selling Cat Girls. I can grab the menu. I am selling okonomiyaki, yakisoba, and gyoza. Actually, no, I don't want to do that yet. I won't do that. So, and then also yakitori. So okonomiyaki is going to be cabbage with a dashi batter that you mix together and you fry it kind of like a pancake, but it's got cabbage in it, and then you put pork on it and a savory barbecue sauce with a little bit of mayo. Really delicious sort of savory pancake deal. And then yakisoba is going to be noodles, chicken or pork, onions, carrots, bean sprouts, fried together in a little pile with a yakisoba sauce. I make the sauces all myself as well. So the okonomiyaki sauce, yakisoba sauce, the gyoza dipping sauce, those are all my sauces. They're not something that I'm buying from a store. Pan fry the noodles. I like them a little crispier. Some people don't like them so crispy, but you can order it sort of however you want. Gyoza, wrapped wonton. If you don't know what a gyoza is, I don't know what you're doing here. Maybe you should go figure out what a gyoza is, because they'll change your life. Yakitori is going to be stuff on sticks. So I've got chicken breast and on a stick, chicken thigh on a stick, chicken skin on a stick, chicken meatball that I make on a stick, and then a pork belly stick just to shake it up, because I've got the pork belly, so why not make a little stick out of it? You don't know what it is? You do know what it is. Flawed Man of God, you would call it a pot sticker, I believe. I believe in the in white people speak, a gyoza is a pot sticker. They're kind of moon shaped, and they're typically, when you cook them, you burn one end. Some places boil them so you don't get the burnt side. Some places deep fry them. Oh shit, those are exactly. And we've got a really good pork and leek one that we've just called a pot sticker. I have a trailer called Yakimono. I can't call it a pot sticker. Oh man. All right, what do we? You guys are making me scroll up. But I'll be missed. I'll still be here. I'm not going anywhere. I'll still be in the Discord. I'll still be on Twitter. I'll still be available. I just won't be streaming every single night the way I have been. It's better that way. You know how many more trucks we still have had alcohol in them? I mean, I think you'd be surprised how many trucks get broken into and have their generators stolen, their batteries stolen. There's a lot in a food truck that's a lot more valuable than just stealing alcohol out of them to some tweaker that wants it. But yeah. You haven't watched any winter shows yet? Well, I I have watched a lot of winter shows, and we will transition to our review of what's going on here shortly. Turning into a pseudo chick? No, not a pseudo chick. Just a me. Just a me. Different time. Same me. You didn't watch today's shows, but you watched the rest of the new ones from the season. Was High Card yesterday or today? Because I only watched High Card today, and I like that one. We'll get to it though. Boom, boom, boom. Why do things have to change sometimes? Because we all grow up. No, how can I do this to you? Because you don't share the stream enough for me to have enough viewers to make money doing this. That would make me more money than doing what I really enjoy doing, which is serving food to people. So I'll go to serve food to people, and it'll make me money quicker than being on stream. But I'll still stream because I still love the escape corner. The whole point of this was to build a community where we can joke about otaku and anime things and Japan things and video game things, and have it be that little group that can be there if you ever are in a hard place. So that's what it's for. What do we do? Because this doesn't make money exactly. He's going to use the money to get an Asian skin for Virtual Waifu's Android body in Japan. I don't think I'd like that. That sounds bad. George is beating the brakes off TCU, so here you are. Those mean something, I'm sure. DoorDash from my trailer? Do it. Do it. The Toast POS will connect to DoorDash directly. Do I deliver to LA, California? I don't, but if you want to pay the DoorDash fees, you could have someone drive it down to you in 20 hours or whatever it takes. More audiobooks to listen to. Yep. Your mom told you never to buy from strangers. Hopefully other people around you weren't told the same. It's okay. When was the last time you knew the name of the person that sold you food or cooked you food? What is the food truck business called? Hopefully you picked up on it being called Yakimono. Yakimono. It means pan-fried stuff. Or yaki. Yaki kind of means grilled or fried. It's sort of a dual use. And then mono just means stuff or things. Because okonomiyaki, yakisoba, yakitori, the gyoza is also pan-fried. So that'll work there. I'm a white mare. Well, I mean, thanks for the compliment, I guess. You can call it a pot sticker, yeah. Blaine's the only one that streams at night on the weekdays. Now you have to sleep at night. There is sleep. You could do sleep, but you'll find others. You'll find it. You know what isn't getting stolen out of food trucks? Spoilers. They just opened the vents. And it creates enough downforce for the truck to not roll over. High Card is today. I did enjoy High Card. It was not what I thought it would be at all. I will pop the spoiler Gundam up when we get to that. Maybe call the food truck Truck-kun. So I got the smallest food trailer that you can get. The food trailer itself is 7 feet wide by 10 feet long. It's this tiny little thing because I'm only serving a few things. And I wanted to capture that sort of yatai theme to things. So that little Japanese food cart that you see on the side of the road, I wanted to really feel like that. So I wanted it to be as small as possible. Even with a tiny, tiny trailer, it can still be a pain in the ass to maneuver your trailer at a farmer's market. So you'll usually, if you're at a farmer's market, you'll see all the gazebo booths around. And then all the food trucks are off to like one side because that's the closest they could get the food trucks to park them and have them serving food. And what I was told by someone in one of the groups that I'm in was to have a sort of a gazebo setup that you can just have like a 10 by 10 gazebo. Those little like pop-up tent things with a little roof that you can set up for these kind of things because you can fit those little gazebos in every single time. So, I did the measurements. All right. I'm gonna get one of those K trucks. You know, the itty bitty Truck-kuns, and the bed of the K truck is the same height as the equipment stands that you put griddles and everything on. So I'm gonna get a K truck and have the whole bed decked out like it's my cook line, and I'm gonna have that truck just drive it right in, set up a gazebo over it, and it'll be my marketing thing because people are like, why the hell is there a truck in the gazebo area? And it'll just be perfect. And I can have a little truck coon there that brings my food to farmers market. So it'll be perfect. It'll be perfect. Plus, those truck coons are like, I've seen them anywhere from 10K to 20K stateside, not like you buy it and then have to do all the shipping and everything. But it's pretty great. Pretty great. Winter trying to fry your brain with this much. There's so much. There's so much right now. You try looking for anime late shows and there's just a commie weebs using buzzwords. Oh no! Where were the based and red pilled? We gotta find the based and red pill anime viewers. That's the trick. We just need to get 900 or 800 more people to find this channel and say, "Hey, I'll subscribe to that," and then it'll unlock a whole new world. That's what we'll do. I'm going to talk about those here. Only positive vibes. Flopman guy, I forgot about the spoilers part of playing streams. Okay, you're less sad now with less spoilers. Woohoo. One dude also said, you just ruined my night too, didn't he? So what time on Mondays and when is the schedule changing? I don't know. That is the worst part about all of this. I am waiting on L&I, the Department of Labor and Industries, to sign off and say that my trailer is fit for human working. They are typically delayed by about 20 weeks, and I submitted back in November. But I also submitted using like another company that's supposed to make that 20 weeks into a 5 to 10 weeks. So could be 3 weeks from now, it could be 13 weeks from now. I don't I don't have a date for when it will change. But once I get that approval, the Department of Health, the fire department, everybody else's sign-offs are very quick and you can schedule them and they'll be easy. So there'll be plenty of time from me knowing that I'm good to go to then being able to make announcements as to when things are changing and what the new schedule will be. As far as timing on Monday goes, not sure yet. I probably don't want to do the Stitch and Adam thing where I just start in the morning and go until I'm dead. They have those long ass Sunday streams and Tuesday streams. Probably something less than that, but potentially a longer stream that starts a little bit earlier. It would be coming down the line. You better hope Flam starts. I know of Flamenco, but I can't honestly tell you something that I've seen of theirs. I should reach out. I should say hi. See if I can build a bridge. Also cheaper to have something smaller, you're sure? It is, and it is also more annoying. So like it is cheaper because it's physically smaller, so like the trailer and everything costs less, and you have less room to keep stuff. But you also then have to find like clever ways to get everything to fit. So it is cheaper, but there's a lot in there that like I've had to basically fabricate to make it function the way I want it to function. I should hire a hot maid to serve the food to the customers when you get big enough. Well, I've got a hot maid, I guess, if you count waifu as a maid. But we'll see. That is perfect. Whose measurements? The measurements of the Subaru Sambar, because I want to get it. If I'm going to get a tiny truck, it has to still be a 4x4. I need the 4-wheel drive. And you can get the Subaru Sambar in a supercharged version. So you have a supercharged 600cc engine, and it's amazing. Those are funny. The only anime late shows now are Vaush. Oh no, not the horse anime. It's a lot better than last winter. You're looking back on last season. Dear Lord, it was desolate. That is true. Based in red-pilled anime viewers, it's called 4chan. You are not wrong, Stuart. Nico is correct there. Last winter had your favorite show of the year. Other than that, it was pretty weak, though. Yeah, I feel like typically winter, we get like one show where it's like maybe 3 shows where you're like, wow, those are really good shows. And the rest of it is like, I mean, if you're into the show, watch the show, but otherwise not a big deal. I've got some things that I'm probably going to drop just because of my time restraints coming up, but I don't know. This season's pretty fun overall. Dress Up Darling, Attack on Titan, Demon Slayer. Hey, look, there's 3. You're gonna be listening to my stream in the background. Yeah, how else will I get my my daily reading in? Ton of classic anime to watch, so I hope this winter is weak, but you're like a ton of the first episodes. That is true. Asian wife to serve the customers. Why does everybody think I had like it's only more humorous because for my entire married life, when I've talked to people about like how I enjoy going to Japan, their first response is, "Oh, is your wife Japanese?" I'm like, no, why does my wife have to be Japanese? So like this meme of my wife being Asian is so much bigger than just the chat. It just makes me laugh. So thank you everyone for that. It's so funny. So funny. You bought a Suzuki Carry a few years back. So much fun to drive around. Did you get the hold on. Boom. I saw the Hondas. Okay, and so in Canada, are you able to get those licensed so you can use them? Because I know for a long time they were basically farm use only, and then some of the first gen ones are 96 or so, 95, maybe even back to 92. I don't actually know. I don't know when they started the trucks. But they're old enough now that we can get them imported into America and drive them on the street. But I don't know what Canada's motor rules are like. But yeah, they are so... the K car, I drove a K car from Osaka all the way to Kumamoto and back. And we took the ferry, so we went to Shizuoka on the way back. And it was a ton of fun driving a little K car. 52-7 in only 3/4. Oof. Big blowout. You want to offer promotion of my channel, viewers and followers views chatbots. The price is lower than any competitor. The quality is guaranteed to be the best. Auto. Hey, maybe Platinum Ghost. See, look at this. Platinum Ghost. Platinum. Yeah, Platinum Ghost 1 VXI out here trying to make sure that the stream stays around. She's Chinese. Is she Japanese? She No, she's white. She's Norwegian. She is. I mean, obviously she's American because that's what all of us are at this point. But no, I think her heritage goes to North Europe. She's Filipino. Speaking of maid outfits, my daughter told me mommy must actually like anime because she has a maid costume she found. Yes, licensed, but have to be 15 years old. Oh, interesting. I think ours have to be like 26 or something stupid like that for Washington State, at least. We both graduated in non-prawn bots tonight. Yeah. It's the Twitch one. If you're cross streaming onto Twitch, you get the do you want us to get you more viewers? Like that's the only kind of like bot that you get over there. And then if you look up laws in China, or not China, California, then the porn bots show up. All right. Kampai, everyone. Also, because of me getting ready for like I wake up and I do work on the trailer and then I don't stop doing work on the trailer until I physically can't anymore. Like it's too dark to see. I'm on whatever it may be. Even like flashlights and shit just get annoying. So streams here at night are going to end up being a little shorter. Probably going to be much closer to the 9 p.m. 9 p.m. close time. But we'll just go until we're done talking, basically, and see how it goes. It's hard to get viewers in Twitch. Have you heard about the Conversation rates? Oh, you mean conversion rates? 6,000 YouTube viewers is less than 2,000 Twitch viewers? Whoo! The problem is discoverability. Twitch has always had an issue with discoverability. If you start a Twitch channel and you pick a game that's interesting, you only need like 10 viewers. So like if everyone watching this channel right now went and watched on Twitch, hold on, let's see, let's just take this. Let's take the just chatting category. Okay, this one's actually pretty big. Interesting. Oh, that's because the just chatting is all the Booba streamers. So like even scrolling down, it's still 400 views. Crazy. Anyway, pick a game. Pick a game. Like, I remember, maybe this is old news. Maybe this is all old news. I just remember there was a thing where it was like, if you had 10 viewers on most games, that would put you in like the top 10 streamers. But maybe that's just because with like Hitman Blood Money, if you're streaming this game, you're in the top 10 streamers because there's not a lot of people streaming that game right now. Minecraft, probably top. I feel like there's a lot more viewers on, but still, even here, I'm not too far down the page and I'm already into the 20 viewer category. So it's just like, you get a bunch of friends, you get a bunch of, you have like 5 friends with 5 accounts each, and you get it. Among Us right now, 80 viewers is top 10. Wow. Are there just a lot more people watching on Twitch now? Or are they doing, is Twitch worried that they're going to get gutted like another Amazon team? And they're trying to show that they have more viewership than they do? Is Twitch pulling a cozy? Is Twitch a little cozy TV? That was the Duncan MacLeod meme. Oh, yeah. I'd believe in total views though, just because with YouTube you have those recurrent views. But yeah, no, that is. Or Duncan MacLeod with his $500 mortgage. Everyone uses just chatting. Yeah, apparently most games are dead games. You'd stream this to reality, but you like being in the chat, and your data hasn't been great recently. Wait, what's reality? I'm so confused by that statement. Time slot being consistent, of course. Of course, you can't be same bat time, same bat channel if you're not same bat time, same bat channel. Top 10 in COD is 175 viewers. iJustine is playing Call of Duty right now. What? What? Wasn't iJustine? Wasn't it her and PewDiePie? Not PewDiePie. What's the other guy's name? The one that everybody like got mad at for a while. Tobuscus. They were popular at the same time, right? There was a fun non-booby streamer you watched on Twitch. She moved to Austin and converted, and you know that ending. Shane Dawson? Oh no. Oh no. For the blackface, right? Yeah, exactly. For the blackface. That's what it's all about. No, Tobuscus got in trouble for. Was he mean? Was he mean to the Russian girl? Or were there allegations that he was like cheating on his girlfriend? I don't even remember. I just remember it being like a, oh, did you hear what Tobuscus did? And then like you read the story or you watched a video and you were like, oh, and like, yeah, but he's like popular with kids. He's setting a bad precedent. And you're like, but he's like, I don't know. At the time, he must have been like 30, making more money than he's ever seen before. Interesting. What did Keemstar have to say about it? Killer Keemstar here. Let's get right into the news. All Keemstar had to say was, I love you, Wings. I love my friend Wings of Redemption. I wouldn't be on this platform if Wings isn't on the platform. That's what he had to say about it. All right, let us get right into the reviews. Oh, we can do it. Oh my goodness, I can't believe we have our own little dealie that we could use to get right into the reviews. All right, Tequila Gundam on deck. We are review timing now. We are talking winter 2023. Now, I did during my holiday, the actual December part, I watched some Orient. I watched some Uzaki-chan Wants to Hang Out. So, like, I have some of those, but nobody cares about my thoughts on Orient or Uzaki-chan. We all care about the first show that I watched of the winter 2023 season, The Ice Guy and His Cool Female Colleague. This show is adorable. It's also very confusing because at first, we get I'm an Iceman. I'm the descendant of Yuki Onna, which are yokai, and the calm lady is like, oh, that's interesting, but she seems to brush things off. She doesn't seem affected by things, so you're like, oh, of course, she isn't affected by it. That makes sense. Then we get to the workplace, and it's like, oh, hi, I'm so-and-so. I'm a descendant of Kitsune. You're like, okay, so yokai are just a thing in this universe. And then we get other dude who's like, hey, I'm other coworker man. I'm just a descendant of humans. And he's also not weirded out by the fact that yokai exist. So yokai are just a thing. Their boss looks like a Buddha. It's adorable because every time our ice guy has any sort of emotional reaction, he just has an ice storm. And I will probably not finish this show. If this season had less good shows, I'd watch it. It really gives me Watakoi vibes. It really feels like we've got adults who are in a workplace. They're learning to work together, also have like professional relationships. Maybe they're going to have a romantic relationship. That seems to be where it's heading. And it's very fun, very cute. But it's kind of boring because the only sort of interesting thing we get from it is the fact that he is a Yuki Onna, and that means that there's snow and snowmen that pop up and around. We'll see. I'm not dropping it yet. And I will probably not consciously drop this show, but it's the kind of show where I'm going to sit down and there's going to be an episode of the Ice Guy and his cool female colleague, and then another episode of maybe Buddy Daddies or Tomo-chan, which we'll get to, and I'll just watch those instead because I think they're more interesting or exciting to me. So Ice Guy's finished last, apparently. You're right, Geminire. You ready to drop it because he looks to be another coward MC? He is going out of his way to like do things, but I don't know if it's coward. I think the idea they're playing up on the cold. Like he doesn't really know how to interact as much in that loving way because he's cold and detached with things. I think that's what they're trying to play to, not the fact that he's a coward necessarily. But either way, you get the same outcome where it's like, I don't know, man, maybe you don't worry about it. Slap that like button like the Ice Guy's snowman slaps his coworker. You became a mod to lead, not to read, fan site. Read the manga, you slacker. Maybe I'll learn to read manga later. 12 likes and I'll quit being a redhead. Am I redheaded? I didn't think I was. The fact that he keeps everything that she gives him is pretty cute. Yeah, no, it's adorable. It's great. It is such a fun little romance. It really does give me those Watakoi vibes. But there's so much else this season. I'm just gonna. It's a natural drop, not an intentional drop. Eminence and Shadow is continuing. Do I need to say more? I love it. It's great. I can't wait to continue this one. Today I'm pretty brown head. Got that brown head. Is it do I have a reddish beard face, weak goatee? Is that what everybody gets caught up in? All right. Ningen Fushin. Adventurers who don't believe in humanity will save the world. I don't believe in the writer's ability to do anything quickly. Oh boy, did it take us the entire episode to get 4 people to communicate that they had been lied to, ostracized, kicked aside in some way to the point where they don't trust other humans. Holy crap, did we just drone on and delay just to finally get to the point of, hey, we all hate other humans. Maybe we should work together. Yeah, sure, go ahead. And then end up hating each other that has a falling out in the episode 8. And then you come back together at the end of the season to defeat the big bad or work closer to defeating the big bad. This show could be fun, could be an interesting take on the adventuring party that doesn't get along, but I have a feeling that you'd rather watch Konosuba than watch Ningen Fushin. Didn't even realize you've watched 23 shows already. You have some amazing stuff coming from Eminence. You're happy it's 20 episodes. Oh yeah, gonna be fun. Did I bench press that grill yet? I have bench pressed 2 griddles. And actually, no, we don't bench press them. We squat them. The waifu and I squat it up onto the. We have a 2-drawer refrigerator that is like 24 inches tall. So the griddle sits on top of it, and then I have these mounts that I put on it. So like you're probably familiar with like a pipe flange mount, basically. So it's a pipe flange mount that I had to modify. Those are what I was grinding when I got the black lung. So I've screwed those into the refrigerator top to secure it, and then the leg of the griddle goes in the hole. Tighten the set screw, and you're good to go. That griddle's not going anywhere. And then you can use the flanges because they have 3 screws holding them to the top. Use those as your mounting point to keep it from rolling around in the trailer. And then we have another griddle that is broken, but I don't know, maybe I'll work on it until it functions. That we also had to squat onto another box. 2 already dropped though, lol. Exactly. Backstory dump was very slow. It was incredibly slow. Blaine's just reading the Discord. I do read the Discord, but I also have my own thoughts that I think independent of everyone else. He's sticking to a script, derail. Don't worry. You'll be able to derail me. We're getting to plenty of derailments. I figured if the idea is in the next month or so to try to get this channel to the point where it actually has like a monetizable amount of views, I should focus on making these reviews things that I can clip out and just put on TikTok or something. So if I just ramble out my review of the show then I can easily cut that out and make that a thing. Rather watch Belle than that. Exactly. Beauty well done. Yeah, no, it's great. I was really worried about having to like attach it because typically in a normal restaurant you have just the cook surf or the equipment stand and whatever it is just sits on it because your restaurant doesn't move, right? But a trailer moves consistently and often, and so you need it to not move around when it's in there. And either you have a ton of crap that like mounts it so that it doesn't go anywhere, or you have a clever way of keeping everything from moving anywhere. So with the food truck, that means Blaine can't watch that much anime, so now you can pass him? Maybe, yeah. You might already pass me. Talk about Steven Universe. No! Quickest way is to get Nick Rekieta on the stream. Nick Rekieta brought Flawed Man of God from like 100 to 300. So that is true, but maybe I'll try it. We'd have to figure out what we talk about. Blaine does have the facial hair of a Steven Universe fan. I swear to sweet Jesus. Bring up this damn show again. Where's safety mask? What kind of craftsman are you? Safety first? Yeah, no, I did not wear a mask when I used an angle, I guess they're called angle grinders, but he put a cutting wheel in an angle grinder. I feel like it should just be called an angle cutter, honestly. But he used a cutting wheel to whack off a big chunk of the flange, and then so the flange is round. The flange is round, right? And then I cut it. So I cut a chunk off of it, and then I had to take the angle grinder to grind it so they would match the bevel of the fridge top. And I was like, oh, just a little bit of grinding. It ended up being a lot of grinding. I was blowing iron out of my nose for a while, or steel. So iron and chromium out of my nose for a long time. You get a phone call every time you watch this stream? Wait, why? That's weird. You think you found Blaine from a super chat on Nick's show or Brandon? Same. Yep. Nick was. I sent a couple super chats to Nick's show, and I got a lot of viewers from that. A lot of you guys came from that, and then Lolly. I think it was Geminire. That was an unexpected one because I just was talking about Lolly releasing Berserk, and then he was like, "Oh yeah, so and so was talking about me," and I was like, "What? How do you even know?" Yes, whack it off. Whack off. Anime fans with money are usually commies, so Blaine's viewers don't stay long. Where are all the red-pilled anime fans? Are they all Harry carrying themselves with the passing of Andrew Tate? Is that the problem? You found me from a Shikimori video. Nice. You don't want silicosis from the grinding wheel? I do not. I don't want silicosis. So hopefully I don't have that. I was blowing iron. Yeah, blowing that iron and cadmium or chromium. You're the guy racking off in my shit. Tate is dead? No, Tate isn't dead. He's just been arrested by the Romanians. They got him on sex trafficking, and he'll probably get caponed. He'll probably just get like tax evasion. You found Blaine from a tweet from Brandon. You have a problem with hitting links? Well, I'll help you find links better. All right. Tomo-chan is a girl is such a fantastically fun show that I think the fan base that we were just discussing is probably going to ruin. But I'm going to have fun with the show because the show is fun. The show is cool. I like the whole idea of Tomo-chan being that character that we've seen 1,000 times. It's the girl raised by the karate master in the karate dojo. And she's really strong, and she's seen as masculine by her dim-witted next door neighbor buddy. and everybody is cheering for them to get together. And meanwhile, we're like, just love the Karate Captain. Karate Captain loves you. He thinks you're great. Go out with Karate Captain. He would be so much fun. You guys would be great together, rather than Ding Dong over here, who I don't even know what his deal is. I can't tell what's with this guy. But it's gonna be a fun show. But you can already see the tweets. You can see them being written as we speak. Oh, Tomo-chan's an egg. Oh, we need to crack the Tomo-chan egg. It's like, no, no, she's not. Just let her be Tomo-chan. Oh my goodness. I am loving it though. It's a super fun show. The fan base, that is me. No, not you, fan base. Because you're the fan base, Michael. You're the fan base for Tomo-chan that loves Tomo-chan. Like, you love Tomo-chan, you love the characters in the show. You're just gonna be like, yes, they are who they are, and that's great. You're not the fan base that's like, I'm Tomo-chan, and that means that Tomo is actually a trans, anti-cis, blah-de-blah. Yeah. You had to check the Tomo-chan, the comments on Tomo-chan. Can't remember how you found me. I believe it was probably by accident. It had to be off of. Wait, how did I? Did you watch Brandon previously? Maybe it was a Brandon or a Punkwaddle when I was actually on Brandon's stream or something like that. Tomo-chan is great. OG love com manga. It took so long to animate. You immediately liked it. Can't wait for the next episode. Exactly. We don't talk about Ding Dong. I remember the first stream from Blaine you watched was drawing cookout stream. That was the first stream and you stuck around? Me cooking and drawing pictures of lump? Oh, that's funny. She went from Tomo-chan to Tomo-tran on Twitter. No! Already? God damn it, internet! Oh, I don't know, Blaine. Tomo-chan is extremely care about who she liked from the first minute. They can't argue. Yeah. She's very clear about who she is. She's very clear about who she likes. But that doesn't matter to some people. Some people just can't enjoy a good show. You don't want any LGBTQ whatever on my Tomo-chan. Exactly. Stay away. Stay away, you weirdos. Now, we can have fun with it because this is escapism. It's fun. It's silly. It's a good show. Let's have some fun with it. So, Tomo-chan being a masculine woman in the like traditional masculine sense of she's strong, she's tall, and she has like an imposing sort of aura about her. That allows other classmates to be like, wait a minute, she is a girl, right? And then kind of fall in love with her. So having a little bit of that, her being such a masculine or traditionally masculine presence that makes other women question their sexuality is a very interesting thing you can do with a show like this. But leave Tomo-chan as Tomo-chan. Don't mess around with her. Let her being confident in who she is and who she wants to be cause other people to question who they are because her confidence is great. You bet she has a massive guy. Just in the doujin. Oh yeah, right, Serranos. You speaking for me already. Only in the doujins. Man hands. I don't know about man hands, but she's got some manly punches. Good whackers. Those are the doujins for me. Burned them on the cross. Does she have man hands? I don't think size wise she has man hands. Like. She kind of does in the poster because in the poster, her and the Ding Dong guy, their hands are like the same size, but his is drawn a little more squared off and rough, and hers a little more feminine with thinner lines. But we'll see. Manga wise, her hands are girly. Okay, good. So did Sakura in Naruto and Tifa in FF7. Yep. I'm here for it though, because if there's people, I need to see this. Is it actually Tomo Tran already? Oh my goodness, internet. Bum bum bum. Why'd she have that demon tooth thing going? Oh, she's got the little. Do 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 do. All I'm seeing is an actual person named Tomo Tran, who is assumedly Vietnamese. So I'll worry about finding that later. Lolly hates the last arc, but you haven't read it and am for it. Yeah, I mean that is. I feel like that's a consistent issue with a lot of romance shows is they play so long with the will they, won't they? Oh, are they gonna get there? Oh, how's it gonna be? Oh, now they're a little farther apart. Oh, they're getting close. You know, it's so much of the romance is the anticipation of the romance that they sort of are like, well, I'm really good at building this anticipation, but landing that plane is hard, apparently. So I can imagine that the ending is going to be a little bit either really jarring, like, and then they were in love, or a final will they, won't they kind of a thing. Man hands me she can handle the Magnum dime. Oh, man. The little fang. Oh, it's just a little fang. Stream was 7 months ago. Yeah, that stream was back. The channel was still quite young. Next, a little bit. The magical revolution of the reincarnated princess and the genius young lady. I really like this show. I like these shows where instead of saying, oh, I'm living my life. Oh no, a truck. Oh, I've been isekai'd. It just starts in the other world and then they have some sort of memory. They remember the fact that they lived in a different world and they remember things about that past world. I think it's a much more I'm okay with it not being considered like traditional isekai trash in that sense. I like the idea that she can't use magic and has to find a way around it. It kind of immediately gives her that problem, that flaw that she has to overcome. I am a little confused about the genius young lady who is apparently just good at magic, but then also the prince, the brother, is just like, I don't want to play with you anymore. Like he's the Andy meme. He's just dropping the Woody. He's dropping the genius young lady to go with the ex-commoner girl. And I feel like there's a show there. Like there's an entire series that we just skipped that could be its own series of why this prince is now interested in this commoner girl instead of the girl he was originally with. That could be more interesting, could be more exciting. And we're just jumping ahead to the part of the story that we're at, where girl who remembers that she's an isekai protagonist is going to pair up with this genius young lady. I will say, if your goal is I want to fly, I think I want to use magic to fly. And in the show, the first episode, we see you fly twice. I think you flew. I think you did. Like, what's the new goal? Like, why do you need this genius young lady? Why do we need to add this other, the white-haired chick to your party if you already know how to use magical tools to be able to basically fly? Like, yeah, it broke partway through, but like, you still flew. You still did it. We aren't like, oh, the Wright brothers failed because they only flew 60 meters or whatever. Maybe it was only 60 feet. I forget how how short their first flight was. But I don't know. I feel like she can fly. Like we're getting there. Da, 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 da. Episode 12, maybe the typical you have feelings episode. Exactly. Romance authors are weird. They never show up after they hook up. That's why they over the moon. You get popular despite being mid. Magical Revolution gonna be S tier. Ooh, it has really good animation. Magical Revolution of the Reincarnated Princess. Who is doing this actually? Katakawa Productions Studios. Diomedia or Diomedia. They also did the Saints Magical Powers Unlimited. They did Daimon, Parallel World Pharmacy, Domestic Girlfriend. Like they've got a history of decent looking shows. And this one looks really good, especially some of the like the landscape work. Some of the settings where the characters was more interesting to look at than the characters themselves as they were in the setting. So it's definitely off to a good start. I'm a little confused about where it wants to go. But you know, an episode 1 is sometimes just an introductory episode. So we'll see where they go. We'll see how we get there. You're not into S&M. Maybe you are. You just didn't know that. You loved the episode. The reincarnated guy is confident in playing his age role. Wait, what? Her brother seems to be very insecure because of how his sister outshines him. He does, but then why is he being mean to Genius Young Lady? I don't even remember her name. The girl who can do who shot magic into the sky. I'm confused there. Like I need some sort of revelation that she either accidentally was a bitch to this commoner or she is on purpose just a really terrible person. I need some sort of revelation about her to understand why the prince is mean to other people. Because at first you're like, oh, he doesn't like the fact that they sort of dote on his sister and her whims, if you will. You know, he's not super into that. But his interactions with other people was even weirder, I think. Does Excel Saga count as an isekai since she didn't go to another world but got rewound instead? I think you have to count Excel Saga as an isekai if you count any of the reincarnated shows as isekai. Because I think the purpose of an isekai is to take you from a place that you understand, put you in a different place, and let you use your experience from the previous world in this new world. So if all of those things occur, I think you're in that isekai genre, even though you're not traditionally in like another world, so to speak. But if you think about like if you took a cowboy from the 1800s and brought him up into today, he might as well be in a different world, right? So I think same timeline on the same timeline but different point in time can still function as an isekai. That's because most authors don't know how to write a story about people in a relationship without creating drama that causes the likable characters to be hated. Which show am I talking about? The Magical Revolution. Commoners give better head than those NIMBY aristocrats. What is it? Chrissy Mayer has the line that's like, "I'm glad I was fat. I give mean head." Like, it's true. That's what she says. It's funny. 6 likes and 12 watching. So cranky. We got up to 15 watching actually. 13 or 14 on YouTube, and then 1 on Twitch. I guess I have a Twitch moderator that watches me probably. Having someone who's good at magic helps out with her technology a lot since she uses magical items and monsters to do so at the start. Yep. I get that, but like her goal was to fly. So like, is her goal just like permanent flight or better flight? Like, I don't know. I'm excited for it. It looks good. It sounds good. Everything about it is pretty good. Really expecting it. See if you're a mod, be pushing merch and likes all stream on this channel for other reasons. Magi Revu looks mid. Oof. Oof, Nico. Oof. The one thing you really hate is the fact that he has all of the responsibilities of the throne, but his sister gets to do whatever she wants, which is what he wants to do as well. Oh, there you go. Jealous of the freedom. What is the phrase? Heavy is the crown that sits upon the king's head. Having arranged marriage is part of that control his family has over him. You disagree with the definition of isekai, but that's fine. You disagree with the technical definition or the definition that like I gave? Because like the technical definition is you moving to a different world, isekai, different world. But I think it means more than just being in a different world or whatever nowadays. Yeah, you killed the bot from earlier. Nice. As Drex said, the fat girls had to give good head to keep their man before the dating app era. Oh, Flamingo Gaming. Hello. Yes, I am American. Where are you from? Are you also from America or are you from not America? Hello, human? Are you a bot or are you human? I guess that's where we'll start. And not like a bot, like a Sneeko. Oh, you're a bot, like just a robot, like an act. Are you an AI? Are you like actually a chat AI? Because that would be crazy. You see a show you've never heard of getting a 4th season, Bungo Stray Dogs. Do any of you recommend it? Bungo Stray Dogs season 1 was really fun. I quite enjoyed it. It sort of had that Durarara feel to it. With the difference being that everybody in Bungo Stray Dogs is wait, is it everyone? I'm pretty sure everyone in Bungo Stray Dogs is named after a different historical writer and has some sort of power or unique trait based on that writer. For example, Dasai is in it, and one of his little traits is that he's always trying to commit Minecraft to himself. And I mean, who else would you Minecraft other than yourself? And so because the actual writer Dasai really struggled with that in his life. And so it's very interesting from a historical perspective. The first season was pretty fun, and I just kind of like lost track of it for season 2. Hello, this is not America. Racism. We are not from America. We are not from America. Well, wherever you're from, you are welcome here in Blaine's Escape Corner, our little corner of the internet where we talk about anime and things that we enjoy. You like Bungo, but damn it, at a slow mid other character arc during season 2 that was so boring. Starting Bungo Stray Dogs season 2 show is just it's anime. Funny you should say that. The one person I do know that enjoys Bungo was a Fujoshi. So you're not wrong. You're not wrong there. Isekai definition I had. Isekai is a subgenre of fantasy. It's being so overdone that people are calling any fish out of water show as isekai. Fish out of water to me though can be done any time. Like you don't have to die or change your like entire set. Like, so you're saying like fish out of water, like you take a cowboy and you put him in New York. Like what is the old movie? Samurai in the Big City or something like that, where like or like High Noon or Shanghai Nights. Shanghai Nights was a fish out of water, right? You take Jackie Chan from China and you bring him to the West, right? He's a fish out of water. But you're not changing, like you're changing the setting, but you're not changing the planet, and you're not changing like the time period. I think if you change time space in any way, then you can call it an isekai. So maybe I would add that caveat to what I was trying to explain in my definition. Because I think I think saying that something is something in a different time is very similar to something being in a different planet altogether that is also in a different time. Is Galaxy Quest an isekai? No, Galaxy Quest is not an isekai. Galaxy Quest is amazing, but it is not an isekai. I am from Egypt, the setting of many people's favorite JoJo. I hope you have fun in Egypt. Why is your name Flamingo Gaming if you're in Egypt? I am so curious about that handle choice, but we can get to that on another day. I play Free Fire. I like fire, and I like free things. So I mean, I might. Is it fun? I actually don't know what Free Fire is. Isekai just fish out of water taken to a very specific extreme. Yeah. Asian man going to America is not isekai. Isekai literally means a different world. Cowboy Way movie is a great fish out of water movie. Is that what it's called? The Cowboy Way? I don't remember. Is a college student getting a real job in isekai? Yes, because college is a different world entirely. Free Fire is a Korean game. Okay, gotcha. I enjoyed StarCraft back in the day, but I don't play many Korean games I'm aware of right now. The example you gave of a cowboy going to a city was actually someone trying to convince you that it should be considered isekai. Lol. I don't count time travel as isekai. So what do you call reincarnated as the strongest demon king? Or misfit of Demon King Academy? Like, what do you call that? Because to me, that's an isekai. But I can see the argument that it's not because you're in the same world, right? Is AOT an isekai because of time travel? No. Not getting into that one. It's a battle royale like Fortnite or PUBG. Ah, okay. Michael, no, AOT is a gun. That is true. It is Meat Gundam. Your name is Subayo. Or Subayo. I don't know how Egyptian words are said. Interesting. I've not, like, there's things I've not thought about now. AOT is a mecha show? Exactly. Fantasy. But fantasy what? Because there's... You can't just, like... I don't think there is a fantasy genre. Maybe that's where we differ in our definition here, is fantasy is such a catch-all term. Like if I said, oh, I saw a fantasy movie. What did I watch? Did I watch Star Wars? Did I watch Lord of the Rings? Did I watch Avatar? Like, what did I watch if I tell you it's a fantasy? Because fantasy is like, it's just anything that sort of like steps out of the bounds of what we know to be reality, right? So to say like, oh, that's a fantasy show, that's in the fantasy genre, it just doesn't mean anything to somebody else who's listening to you, right? Now, if you wanted to say it's a medieval fantasy, it's a science fantasy, it's a you clarify like kind of what it is, but then now like it's an isekai fantasy, right? Just futuristic fantasy. Yeah, no. I think the word fantasy is a good modifier to let you know that we're going to go beyond the bounds of what is traditionally thought of as occurring in reality. But I don't think fantasy is very good for indicating to somebody what is actually going to be occurring in the show or movie or whatever you're watching. Best isekai is Overlord, IMO. Many people agree with you. I think it's pronounced how you think it is. God damn it, Serranos. Star Wars is sci-fi? No, it's not. It's space wizards. Science fiction to me is like realistic future stuff, I guess. If someone tells you fantasy, you'd assume magical medieval. That's true. That's what you assume, but like that's not really what fantasy means, right? Maytime is happening in my country. It is 8 p.m. 8:10 p.m. right now. Lord of the Rings is the only one you would consider fantasy from that list. Interesting. Those two shows are fantasy. They are not isekai. Fantasy is a genre, not a subgenre. But what I'm saying is that it's meaningless. It's like, oh, what kind of game is this? It's a first-person game. Oh, what kind of game is a third-person game? Doesn't really tell you anything about the game other than the camera angle. Not really useful. Those two shows are, you would call fantasy a setting rather than a genre. But what setting? Like, you all have said, like, oh, it's medieval. It's Lord of the Rings. That's fantasy. Wizards and stuff. That's fantasy. Is it? Is it fantasy? Daddy Bones, yeah. Space opera. Have fun with that. I love space operas. More anime reviews. We have limited time. Oh, don't worry. I don't have limited time tonight. Fantasy isn't meaningless. You're meaningless. Like, here. Let's Oxford this and work forward. Fantasy. Fantasy. Oh, fantasy football is the first thing that comes up when you just Google fantasy. The faculty or activity of imagining things, especially things that are impossible or improbable. Things that are impossible or improbable. Fantasy genre definition. We go to the wiki page for the fantasy genre. It is a genre of speculative fiction involving magical elements, typically set in a fictional universe, which means fake universe, and sometimes inspired by myth and folklore. Its roots are in oral tradition, which then became fantasy literature and drama from the 20th century. It is expanded into various media, including film, television, graphic novels, manga, anime, video games. So again, what is fantasy? What am I talking about? Oh. Sorry, friend. We are talking about whether or not isekai, whether or not certain shows are considered isekai, which means another world, like My Life in Another World, or like I died and woke up in another world, or if they should just be considered fantasy. Not fantasy in the Japanese ani otaku context is more like magical. There's not really any Star Wars fantasy anime. What are you yelling? We're cat sitting for my sister, so we've got our little vocal friend. Meow, meow, meow. Meow, meow, meow. Yes, hello. You'll get a definition when you build this damn door. That is true. Blue People is probable though. So is Chucky a fantasy movie? It is a horror fantasy. It's got magic. It's impossible or improbable. Oh, you're silly. Look at that chunky monkey. Yeah, she is a wide cat. Very, very funny shape on it. She's shaped like a goat. It's kind of funny. But a cat is a stream mod. Cat Loaf. Anos and that other Demon Kings were not teenagers from Japan, so it doesn't count. Going over pointless semantics. Flamingo. Cats are evil. Evil! This is our new Denji is immortal thing. Exactly. Just look at fantasy tag on Annie list. I'm drinking wine. I am drinking sake, which is it's like wine. It's made from rice. White guy doing voodoo on a doll, definitely fantasy. But debating over pointless things is fun. Exactly. And let's do the here. I'll browse. Would you quit yelling? I'm gonna ignore this cat for a minute. Fantasy. All right, we've got Attack on Titan, Demon Slayer, Sword Art Online is a fantasy. Also needs Sky Hunter x Hunter, Attack on Titan, Full Metal Alchemist, Promise Neverland, Naruto. Naruto is a fantasy. One Piece. I don't know why I'm getting so excited when I read some of these names. They make perfect sense as fantasy shows. Violet Evergarden is a fantasy. Black Clover. Spirited Away. I don't know what this is supposed to help me with. I don't think that's helpful. This makes the fan stuff good. Yeah, that's our thing here. The stream. We found the tiniest thing to argue over and beat it like a dead horse. One Piece. Debates are gay. Knobs, wisest thing he ever said. Wait, what's NOBS? I don't know who that is. I like debating over stuff that doesn't matter because then you can still use your debate brain, your ability to process, and your ability to think through the question, the problem, the interesting fact at hand without it being because like if you have a debate over abortion, right, there's a lot of emotions that get wrapped up and injected into those debates. Political debates, they get very heated, they get very emotional, and you get very like wrapped up in more like, no, I'm right about this thing rather than just actually kind of like discussing like what the issue is. It's very hard to have like a good discussion on those kind of things. So I think having discussions about things that are at the end of the day, whether or not the fantasy genre should apply and mean something, or whether or not isekais should be included with reincarnated shows, it doesn't fucking matter. Like, who cares at the end of the day? But being able to use your brain to figure your way through, noodle it out, as they say, is always fun. One Pieces of Romance. All right, bye, Flam. Other Flam. Plain scaring foreigners by mangling their names and being weird. Yeah. No Bullshit, the YouTuber. Oh. I recognize the name, but I don't know if I've seen anything of theirs. One Piece is sci-fi. They have robots. Pretty sure he said that on EFAP. Gotcha. You're right about this thing. It's not always a debate here as much as the debate. Yeah, exactly. You dropped listening to politics because you started hating life. Exactly. You're like, man. Because sometimes you're like, I agree with your stance, but I really don't know if I can get behind the way you're arguing your points. And so, I don't know. I think it's more fun to just stretch our brains around the meaningless fun stuff, because then we can practice and then we can be able to have good conversations about things that are more important in the future. The real question is, what is a monster girl and why is Blade wrong about it? Oh my goodness. Isn't our whole issue that you don't count cat girls? Would you stop shouting all the time? Why is every 2 seconds another meow out of you? Meow, meow. Here, do you want to? You can sit in the other chair, okay? If you want to. You finished Lucifer and Biscuit Hammer? It was trash, but you loved it? What? Dub actress for Yuta has uploaded covers of the songs from the Red movie in case anyone was curious. Well, they had to do something with those recordings. Remember I told you all that they had actually recorded the music? What else are they going to do with it? They're just going to sit on that, leave it in the can forever? Anyway. Cat girls aren't monstrous enough to be monstrous. Do you hear how monstrous this cat is? There you go. You notice we don't have many dog girls? No, exactly. To be fair, Blaine's always beating that horse. That is true. All right, we got a lot of these to get through. Giant beasts of ours. This is the stupidest name. The stupidest name of the season. Giant beasts of ours. But I enjoyed it. The only thing I'm concerned about is if this is like a nice 24 or less episode series, I'm here for it. I'm down. I want to see it. If this becomes 4 seasons or, something longer than that, I'm out. I don't think you can give me 4 seasons worth of enjoying this. But big monsters, mysterious powers, a guy that used to be in a group is super powerful and is now sort of that bum character. Like, it has a lot of the things that I enjoy about these kind of shows. I just hope it doesn't overstay its welcome. I want to see it, tell a story, get out, be done, have fun. But I'm here for it so far. You really like Giant Beasts of Ours, right? You're like, wow, I thought this show was gonna be really dumb. I thought it was gonna be just a stupid monster of the week kind of show that showed up. Cat girls aren't monsters, so I'll consider cat girls as beast people. You wouldn't call bunny girls monsters either, then? You can't. Okay, in that instance, then E-Class, you can't call any girl creature hybrid that is an existing animal in our world. You can't call any of them monster girls then. They would have to be part monster. Like, that's just a really tight definition of monster you're applying there, I think. You have a BBC, a big black cat. Nice. Kitty cats are silly. You think of Beasts of Ours as a spin-off of something, you're gonna skip it. Is it? I quite enjoyed it. I would say don't skip it just because it's a spin-off of something, and I don't see it having an alternate on. There's no alternate on Annie List. Is there a way to time out stream elements? No, it's a mod. You radicalize your opinions for Geminaria's entertainment. Yeah, Blaine is lying right now. Cat obviously disagreeing with Blaine, giving Mittens some friskies. Yeah, she is a constant talker. It's hilarious. Damn, that cat is loud. Hold on, I gotta snip chat real quick and send it off to my sister. She will laugh. That's hilarious. Yes, she is loud. Mike, become radicalized. Make your local Fed happy. Exactly. Buddy Daddies. Buddy Daddies is the odd couple that anime has been waiting for. It is 2 dudes that appear to be some kind of hitmen or assassins or something like that. You get the serious one, you got the goofy one. They have a kid now because one of the guys is a playboy. A playboy, I believe the term is. He is, or a man whore, I believe would be the more appropriate term. And now has a kid that he's going to be taking care of, and it's funny, it's silly, it's well animated. I think this is another one where if they keep it tight, give it those 13 episodes, have a nice consistent story, we're going to have a good show. We're going to have a good time. If they try to stretch it too far, though, could get a little grating. Overall. Fuck boy. Yeah, exactly. Cat girls need to have more cat-like features to be inhuman. It's always been your argument. Anyone who doesn't get that will get the purge. You can't wait to watch Japanese Oscar and Felix. Yeah. Buddy Daddy needs more suspension of disbelief than Trigun Stampede. I feel like Buddy Daddy was like some guy watched Cowboy Bebop and The Great Pretender, and then was like, oh, what's some old show that I can dig up, and found like The Odd Couple. And they were like, let's do this. And like, first episode, it's not the worst thing in the world. I still don't. And waifu turned to me while I was having this thought during the first episode. Why didn't they check under the cake? It's like, well, yeah, no shit. Like, what? You got this guy rolling a tray, your high security location, and you don't just go, huh, what's under here? You don't do that? You don't? You're just gonna, oh yeah, come on in. And how did you let a kid in? Like, there is some weird stuff going on, but it could be fun. It could have some silliness to it. I think we can get around it. I think it'll be okay. Yes, fuckboy is correct. You might have a point on your view on Monster Girls. However, there is still truth to the idea that cats and bunnies aren't monstrous or dangerous to humans. Gigolo. Gigolo, potentially. More like he just goes to cabaret clubs and has prostitutional relations. Like 3 men minus the third guy. You like Buddy Daddy. Oi, mate. Oi, I'm a bunny girl with the bunny ears and a cottontail. Oi, I'm a monster girl. That's a weird thing to say. If there are those types, then yes. I hope we get anime 2.5 Men soon. Literally, the giant card is such a massive issue. It don't make any sense. Even worse, the tiny little servers tray blocking bullets. It's a really, really strong tray, and he has a really, really weak handgun. You know? Zenigata stabbed a cake with Lupin in it. Exactly. Pickup artist? No. Would a capybara girl be a monster girl? No, that would be a beast girl. Isn't that what we're defining now? The idea is that humans have ears, so changing them to a different type of ear doesn't make them a monster girl. But it's a different ear! Like, the problem is, we're mammals. We're covered in hair. We have ears, mouths, eyes, noses, hands, the fingers, our claws, our nails. You know, we have all of these traits. And like, if you change them into animal traits, then that makes you into that animal thing. Like, just because you have, oh, I've got a hand and now I've got a cat paw. It's like, they're the same thing. They borrowed Vash's 22. That's why the tray was fine. Yeah, exactly. Avatar blue people are monster girls. I think we can agree on that one. Maybe they ordered their stuff from the Bulletproof Table Company. But everyone loves bunnies. There's 2 English dubs on Lupin the Third Part 2 or just 1. You'll forgive media for not knowing bullets can easily go through your table, but 9mm easily go through full plate armor and chainmail. That tray ain't blocking shit. Yeah, no, that was... I thought it was like he was going to just get a bunch of like sugar and cakes and everything in like the way. And like that was just going to be it. But then as soon as he was like, yeah, tink, 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 tink. And it's like, what? You didn't have to do that. You could have had it so that like one of the cupcakes like hits him in the eye and he's like, ah, and he like can't shoot for a second. Like that would have made more sense than our bulletproof tray buddy here. Someone time out Michaels. We can't derail Blaine anymore. Exactly. Throwing the cakes to distract and taking down makes perfect sense, but they wanted the dumber option. Yeah, exactly. Misfit of Demon King Academy Season 2. If you watched Misfit of Demon King Academy Season 1, you know what this is. We start out with the Demon of Tyranny just killing a god. It's like, oh, hey, do you want to remember what this show is about? This show's about a guy who's invincible, who can't die unless he lets himself be killed for like 1,000 years. And even then, it's only temporary. Oh, it's so much fun. It's such a blast. And it also is one of the biggest, like, if you watch this show and you're like, I don't know if I like this show, skip it. This is not a show for someone who wants to waste time thinking about important things. This is a show for people who want to see something go boom and then have a guy survive that explosion and then make an even bigger explosion. That's what this show is. and create a harem of misfit girls. He basically is the Andrew Tate of the Demon King Academy. Season 2 started so quick, it was wild. The bot you banned earlier got nuked by Twitch too. Oh, finally. Yeah, that one's a season 2. So if you liked the first one, you gotta watch the second one. It's exactly the same. You're like, yup, I like it. Boom and harem sounds genius to me. Oh, if you haven't seen Misfit of Demon King Academy, it's so good. It starts out with the guy like opening his eyes and is like, "Mother, give me the booby," and they're like, "Our son can talk." Oh, it's so good. Did you think killing me would be enough to kill me? I love it so much. It's so dumb. It's so dumb, but it's so fun. Oh my goodness. All right, Spy Classroom. Whew. I went into this really wanting to like it. I like the idea of a bunch of washouts who are going to get trained to be like an elite team. That's always a recipe for some fun. Maybe as we learn and interact with and get to know some of the other girls in the squad, I'll get more into it. But with the heavy focus in this first episode on our teacher, our trainer, being really garbage at training and then taking the entire episode to figure out how to perform his training duties to get them ready for the mission, it really felt like it drug for me. If the whole thing is paced the way this first episode is paced, this is going to be like probably the first I'm dropping this because I'm not a fan drop. But we'll see. It could speed things up. It could pull things together now that it sort of has it. Like, here's our mission. Here's what we're doing. Here's how we're gonna do it. But dang, if that didn't need, like, you could have done that in 10 minutes. We didn't need a full 20 minutes figuring all that out. But maybe our little cast of scallywags and characters will be enough to bring this one around for me. Gonna start a new racism arc against Beast Girls instead of Greeks this time. That would be it's wise. It's a wise move. Spy Classroom started off with the episode meh, but you like the second half better. You'll see how it goes. Yep. Starting from the shopping time. That's sort of when it was like, okay, we're getting someplace. Spy Classroom is on the edge for you too. You like Spy Classroom, but I don't think you'll finish it. See, that happens to everyone. So no Sosuke training the football team in FMP? No. I wish it was Full Metal Panic, the Sosuke training. That would be great. If there was just an entire show, but they did that in like an episode, right? That entire thing took an episode, and here we are, an episode in, and he's only just now figured out his method for how he's going to train them. You try to drag stuff out more than Battle Shonen. We'll see. If there's one group that knows how to drag things out, it's the cute girls doing cute things cutely genre. Next, we got saving 80,000 gold in another world for my retirement. It's been a while since we've had an isekai that had control over their ability to transition from world to world. I like the idea. I like the concept. It's sort of fun. It's sort of silly. And it's going to really come down to the final execution of things as to whether or not it's a continue for me. I could very easily see this falling in she doesn't know how to talk to this person, or this person just snubs her for whatever reason, and she's not able to sell her wares or get her business going off. We'll see. Or everything works out and it's fun and it's silly and it's great. Um, time will tell. Time will tell on this one. This is one of those rare instances where that first episode isn't really telling me that I'm going to drop it or that I'm gonna keep it. So we'll see. We'll see on that one. Some of these shows like to take 3 weeks to set up their show. Yeah, exactly. Probably gonna finish 80 million gold or 80,000 gold. Maybe. I don't know. Show is relevant due to our economy. You have to get to another world to get money. They did that in South Park. It's true. They took a dab. Yeah, it's such a weird position because like on the list, right? Like Spy Classroom, if it doesn't pick up, I can see myself dropping it. Ningen Fushin, if it doesn't pick up, I can see myself dropping it. Ice Guy and his cool female colleague, I'll drop just because it gets more boring than something else that I want to watch. But saving 80,000 gold, maybe it's the art style. I think the art style makes me think it's a drop, but the concept, like the idea of I'm going to exploit this alternate universe in order to make money is an interesting idea, but there's something about the design that I'm just like, this bores me. Oh, it bores me so. You should never drop an anime. Just put it on pause and come back to it when you're bored. No! Playing with fire right there is true. You can always go back to your drop list if you're really bored. Oh wait, I just realized there's something that's not on here that should have been on here. Why did this not? I hate sometimes the Ojo app doesn't update something to watching. It's kind of weird. All right, next. Chilling in my 30s after getting fired from the Demon King's army. It feels like bait. It feels like it was designed to be like, hey, you who just got fired from the Demon King's army, as it were. What about this show for you? How about it? Maybe in the future I can talk more on that, but I am chilling in my 30s. I am getting ready to start my own thing. It really feels like it speaks to me. It's way funnier than I was expecting it to be. I was expecting this show to be the most boring and sort of droll drag of a thing, like, oh, I'm really powerful. But like the way that like the guild master reacts, the way that he like gets mad and he's like trying to beat the guy, and like it really played very well. I think it's very well done. Just as far as like the characters are and how they're reacting to things. The art is decent. Our main guy is a little too boring, but he also doesn't look like other isekai or fantasy protagonists. He has a very kind of unique design to him, which I'm appreciating, even though he does have sort of a plain Jane face, I guess. I don't know how you'd say that. But so far, I mean, there's a couple other things that are pretty fun about this show. So I'm probably going to finish this one, or at least give it a six or eight episode and see if it continues to be just enjoyable for me. Wow, he just like Blaine. True, he like me. It bait. Yep. E-Class should read Shikamori if he wants a good time. I just finished a show switching sides to work with a demon army. That's the hero. The hero quits and joins the demon army, right? Did I read the manga? I thought it was pretty bad. I didn't have much interest in OP protagonist. But the protagonist is my least enjoyable part of the show, I think, is the weird part. I really like the young kid who he's like, I'm the town's adventurer. Like, he's kind of an interesting character. I like the way that the guild master like gets angry at the fact that this guy can do everything. It's like, yeah, you should be it should be how you react. Like, no, this is impossible. I'm sure we'll have more backstory coming later, but for right now, I'm gonna give this one at least half a season. We'll see if it gets more than that. Generic, yep. He has a very generic face. You got caught up with My Dress Up Darling manga last month. Does Izumi still suck in the manga? You also thought it looked like garbage, so it's a big Denmark? It's a big Denmark from you? Yeah. They animate a couple things really well, though. Tokyo Revengers Season 2. It's Tokyo Revengers. If you liked Season 1, if you like time travel stuff, where it sort of butterfly affects itself so that every time you do something, sure, you may make some improvements here or there, but there's some interesting fixed points in the timeline that keep popping up that you can't seem to correct no matter how many times you try. Watch Season 2. It's good. It starts out great. The big negative is our main boy, whiny crybaby. Whiny crybaby, worst part of the show, but also pretty okay show. Very fun. I like the timey-wimey stuff, and I'm interested to learn more about Toman and how it got to where it is. Would you give me a minute to talk about anime? You're so loud. Now you sit here, okay? That show only had 2 positive. I don't need to watch the show to get. It's true. Those darn NPCs should get off their butts and do stuff. Izumi doesn't suck as much in the manga. Like, he's just competent. In the anime, he isn't. Revengers is back. That's true. Shinji. Yep. More of a Demon Slayer main guy. Kitty's xenophobic, hates those Chinese cartoons. Yeah. Someone call PETA. The cat's screaming. I'm not gonna correct that statement, Nico, because it's inappropriate in a that's my sake. Get away from the sake. I think Blaine's sister's cat is saying talk more about cat girls. He was verbally abusing the cat. Yes, because the cat speaks. Keep your butthole out of the frame, though. Okay, cat. No one needs to see your Mondale button. Aw, she's curling up. It's really cute. The Angel Next Door spoils me rotten. This show is very adorable. I like the way we've got our Angel, who's also kind of like bitchy and straightforward when she's not at school, being nice to everybody. She actually like is human. I like that she clearly kind of likes the guy, but the guy is like convinced that she can't like him. I like the show overall. I think my issue is going to be kind of what we were discussing previously. That whole will they, won't they of romance anime and manga, where our main boy is so convinced that he can't be loved by her that he ignores the fact that she actually likes him. And it's like, you dingus, you moron, would you just kiss her already? Like, it's gonna end up like that, I feel. So we'll see. We'll see if it does, or if it has a little bit better romance to it. So I Avatar yesterday, and your friend were rating the women the whole time. One of our tops was racist MILF because we never got her name. Are you looking after Styx cat? His cat also shows his bunghole on the stream too. Yeah, cats just do that. They don't have butt cheeks to hide their butthole. So they're always like, check out my butthole as they're like walking around. It's really kind of weird. He didn't get his hope. He didn't just not get his hope up. He actively tried to reject any bit of kindness from her. Yes, that's true. That is true. It's very annoying. I can't tell why. Tail to the face. Yep, a couple times there. How high do I rate Tokyo Revengers? I thought spring 2021 just had so many good shows. You didn't watch it. There was better stuff. Is it worth checking out again? 100%. 100% watch it. Especially now that we're getting a season 2. I am a huge fan of that type of show where we're doing time travel, but like things aren't. Did I get cat hair in? Wow, I actually didn't get cat hair in my sake. It's a miracle. I'm a big fan of those shows where like we have time travel to solve a problem, but it keeps not quite fixing it, and we have to keep going back to try to figure it out. So I really enjoy those. So I would rate it decently high. I'd rate it I don't know. I don't have a number system. I'd rate it watch it. If let's see, what else we got? What else do we have this season? Maybe that's a better. Right now it is the number. If everything had an episode out to watch, I would put it at number 3 on my list of things to watch, behind Tomo-chan as a girl and we'll get to it. But I really like High Card, so I put it at number 3 for this season. Tokyo Revengers was shit, always has been. No, it's not. You stopped during episode 3. If you stopped during episode 3, that doesn't sound like it's yours. That doesn't sound like it's your show. I would go ahead and just leave it in your I'm not going to watch it, and just understand that it's a very specific type of show that you'd enjoy it. We all know that when we try to get the hairs out to still drink the sake, I'd probably just drink the sake and pull the hairs out of my mouth afterwards. It's usually what I would do. Nier Automata is proving that anime is the medium with which to make a video game adaptation. It's also proving that anime makes very good cutscenes, because the entire time I'm watching Nier Automata, I'm thinking, man, when does the game start? When do I take control? And I'm like thinking, like, I remember this type of level. I remember this type of part of the game. And I'm waiting for it to be like my turn to start fighting and start playing. It feels very fun. It feels very true to the show, or true to the game. So I'm excited to see where it goes. It is just very strange. They're using a good amount of CG. They are going back and forth between 2D and CG models for the characters, which is annoying. But it also feels like the game, which like I watched a CG 2B for hours, so I'm used to seeing 2B and CG and all these other characters in CG. So it's interesting to see them in 2D, but it's also, I don't know. It just feels like a trailer. It feels like either a trailer for the game, or it feels like a cutscene from the game, or like, you know, those compilations that people do where they just mash all of the cutscenes together from X video game. That's kind of how it feels. And then there's just some really cool anime in between. Like the animation's really cool, really fun. I like the way they do it. They're not staying strict to model, which is nice. They're letting the motion sort of carry the emotion of what they're doing as they're moving and they're fighting. So I'm hopeful for the animation to continue. It's almost okay that there's so much CG because it was a CG'd video game. But it is still kind of weird to watch the character models go back and forth. I'm on the fence there. I'd say I'll wait. Okay, I'll wait till it's done. But I have a feeling that this will be a watch the anime or play the game. That you would not have to do both. that if you played the game, you know the story and you enjoyed the story. If you watch the anime, you know the story, you enjoy the story. So if you're just looking for the story, I think you can just do one or the other, is what I'm sort of getting the vibe from. But that's why you don't like watching 3D shows. Yep. Their YouTube channel is going all over the panty shops in scientific detail. That game is a walking panty shot. So I get it. I get it. Blaine doesn't like Chainsaw 3D, but probably likes Vash. We'll talk about Vash in a moment here. And I specifically don't like Chainsaw Man Seed 3D because it is jarring going back and forth from 3D to 2D all the time. From having models on the screen, or maybe there's a 2D part with 3D in the back. If you're going to use that jarring aspect for something, like back in the day when Gonzo would use the 3D models for mechs and robots to show that they were different, they were unworldly, they were weird. That works against a 2D background because it was supposed to be different. It's supposed to be weird. When you just have the 2D and the 3D together, it can be very jarring if you don't do it right. If everything's 3D, it removes that problem. However, there are other issues that I do have there. Nier is a great game, and 2B. Never played Nier, probably watched the anime in 8 years. Sure, be good. 2B will climb the waifu charts for sure for winter, which is weird because she's already kind of waifu. Like, everybody's going to dig up their old 2B cosplays, and suddenly we're going to have a whole nother run of everybody in 2B cosplays running around. Blaine's just a CGI bigot. I am a CG elitist. Like, if I'm going to have CG, it needs to be done right. It needs to be done proper. If we're going to do something that is objectively difficult to do, then we must do it perfectly. Otherwise, we should not have it. That is my take on CG. I'm not willing to look at the growing pains of CG anime. 2B is in your top 3 waifus. Woof! Is she number 2? That'd be funny. You're excited on the Vash discussion. The damn community is split, and I love it. You always see 2B cosplays. Well, you're about to see some more! Next! Handyman Saito in Another World. I made the meme. I put it on here. I tweeted it. Dude is the anime lockpicking lawyer in that first episode. It's so funny. Using top of the keyway tension, nothing on 1, little click out of 2, and we've got her open. It's so fun. It's so funny. I love it. I can't wait to see more about this handyman and what he can do and how he can do it. He's already shown his proficiency in leather work. It would appear, and locksmithing. So we know he can get you out of your house. I love the difference between him. Anyone who's ever done work for somebody, like manual labor, and then look to get the bill paid, knows this feeling of, well, it didn't take you very long, and it's like, it's not about how long it took me. I knew how to do it. Like there's this old story. I don't know if it's true, but the FedEx plant shut down. The one that's in, was it Kentucky? All of the belts stopped working. And they hired a guy to come in and fix it. He walks in the middle of the plant, flicks a switch, and everything turns on. And he walks out. And he's like, "That'll be $10,000." And they're like, "What are you talking about? It took you like 20 seconds to find it." And he's like, "It's only $1 for my time, but it's $9,000, $999 for knowing where the switch is." And a lot of people don't like get that when they're hiring people, that like sometimes you're paying for somebody's knowledge. You're not paying for the amount of time that they're going to be there. You're paying for the time they spent getting good at what they do. And so seeing him be disappointed in the real world because people are bastards about that kind of stuff, and then being thanked in the fantasy world and people love him for what he's capable of doing, I thought that was really heartwarming. I thought that was really fun. I'm excited to see what other handicrafts he gets to. And then it also is just kind of a silly show. We have a fantasy world where the unit of measurement is the penis of the main of like a king from back in the day. And I think it was like 13 centimeters. So it was 5.11 inches. It's just like that's our unit of measurement. Is this king had such a and in the show they say this, he has such a big penis. His manhood was so large. His wee was so big. And you're like, it's 13 centimeters. Like, I think you're average, right? Like what's the I'll do American even. American average penis. Yeah, the average erect American penis is 13.12 centimeters. So, you're talking, it's average, but like in this olden world, they're like, whoa, we gotta make this the unit of measurement. It's funny. And then you also have the fact that he's good at like fixing stuff. So I'm excited to see where this show goes. This is gonna be a very, very fun one. Oh, hello. How are you doing?
Hi. It was 30. It was 30
It was 30?
meters. Yeah, it was 30 centimeters. It was a foot long.
Oh, that is bigger then.
Yeah,
I thought it was 13.
No, they said 30. And then they measured against the fairy, who's also about 30 centimeters tall.
Did I have a bat? Well, so E-Class says it's 20. Do we all have different
No, it was-
translations?
No, because like her height has to be like 30 centimeters. Yeah, because she's a fairy.
But she's like the size, like she can stand in your hand.
She's bigger than the hand.
Is she?
Yeah, like she sits on the shoulder. She's about like her. Well, it's hard to like.
It was 12
Tell
inches.
Yeah, so yeah, that'd be
Okay,
30
that's what Pop
centimeters.
says.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then it's a foot. Okay. That makes
Yeah, it was
more sense from an excitement. I thought it was funny because it was like average. Never
Oh
mind.
no! Like they were talking about because it was huge.
Gotcha. Well, I swear maybe I got the wrong subtitles.
I think you're just dyslexic.
Could be that too.
It's probably just that.
So let's go with dyslexia. Now I get it.
Talk about Trigun.
Everyone, Trigun? Trigun or High Card?
I guess you can talk about that first. I just didn't watch High Card. Yeah.
Is Mandingo the king in this show? Essentially, yeah.
Apparently,
the
he
idea.
was like or I guess, yeah, the guy was named after was like some bygone ruler of previous age.
Yeah, he was like,
Basically, a regular Genghis Khan.
yeah, he was Genghis Khan. He had sex with like 300 women, had like 400 kids or something like that, because he had such a big PP. Because everybody knows that it's all about penis size and not the size of your balls that give you more kids. Blaine wanted average to be 13 centimeters. Average is 13 centimeters. Google it. I wasn't wrong in the statements, other than the fact that I misremembered my subtitles. Blaine had a Freudian slip. Wait, how is that Freudian? I don't get it.
You
The
just
20 was a
assumed that
joke?
was your own size.
Oh, I see what everybody's doing.
Yeah.
That makes more sense. You hope to see more Yoruichi. 20 was a joke. You were referencing someone or something? Someone or something?
He's talking about
Okay.
himself.
Trigun. Studio Orange is
Studio Orange.
still good at making CG not make your eyes bleed.
It's so good.
They cut out frames, they do something so that you get the squash and stretch, you get the animation feel while they're using CG models. A lot of really bad and annoying CG feels like action figures. But in Trigun, you actually feel like they're animated, like they're moving, they're stretching, they're doing things like if you were to watch like an older Pixar movie or something where the characters are actually moving around and doing it.
I can actually explain it a little bit because I was
Yeah.
editing a little bit video on that.
Hit me.
Basically, I was going back through the last fight scene that they had where he was dodging the bullets. What they're
Yep.
doing is they mostly cut out the entire transition between like he'll be sitting there. They do a little bit of pre-motion of him like starting to move just like for about 2 frames, like 2 to 3 frames. Very,
Mhm.
very short. And then he'll be on the other point. But his clothes keep moving. His clothes, his hair, all the bouncy bits, that keeps moving. So it keeps the momentum preserved. And that keeps it going
Mhm.
with your eyes. It keeps going between that back and forth. And
Yeah.
that's what they do. That's what they did perfectly.
It's like making an in between with 3D animation. It's very very well done. They consistently like.
They're so good at that.
I remember when Hoseki no Kuni came out, the one about the gem girls, and everyone was like, "Wow, this anime is really crazy looking," and I was like, "What?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, you watch," and you're like, "Wow, this is really well done." They have continued to improve their craft, and it
They've
shows.
improved significantly. They had lot of big advantages with just the nature of the characters they're working with in the Gem show, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because they had a lot
Because they're
of
supposed to be
refractive
rocks. They're supposed to be
surfaces,
kind
yeah.
of weird, but now they're doing humans.
Yeah, they're doing full humans, and it looks great. They like
Yep.
moved from that. They moved to Beastars, which is more humanoids, but still doesn't have to be as perfect. But now they're doing full on humans.
Now,
I really loved it. I thought it was great.
have you remind me? Have you seen the original Trigun?
Nope, I have not seen the original Trigun. I have no idea about that. The only
Yep.
thing I knew was the main character.
Waifu
I didn't even
has.
know his name.
You're like red jacket guy from anime convention.
I only learned his name was Vash like 2 years ago.
What is the top tier CGI anime? Probably this one.
Yeah, it's probably going to be this one. You just watch that first episode. Just watch the first episode.
I would be shocked if someone could come up with an older CG anime that I thought was really good. But overall, like this show looks amazing, and all of my issues with it come from knowing the manga and knowing the original. The one thing that I was really worried about was all of the previews and everything had extremely serious tones. And we read those articles about how the mangaka had issues and got sick while he was writing, and we were worried, or I was worried at least, that he would bring that sort of sorrow into the show. And so far, I don't see it at all. It's all very light overall.
They had the flashback at the end of the first episode too. I think we're going to see more of that later. I think we are going to see more of that later on.
Yeah, I think you might see that too.
The first episode was probably what you're more expecting, is like the happy-go-lucky Vash.
How is it compared to Ajin? It is way better than Ajin.
Better. It's not even close. So don't compare them.
It's a completely different thing. The voice actor for Vash, also it's Inosuke's voice actor from Demon Slayer. That guy's hilarious.
He did a great job. I think
he's got a great voice for it. Really works well. The stuff at the very beginning and the very end of the episode, as well as Vash telling the reporters that he has a brother named Knives, that bothers me because that's
I was translated for you, Knives.
Knives.
Maybe
yeah.
I just like skipped over that, but I didn't remember.
Million knives is how it was translated.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Because I was gonna say Knives. I remember it being different. That makes sense.
Because as like a kid, they call him, well, they call him Nye or Nay in this one. Like the original, his name was Nail. So
yeah, I think
at least that's what I remember.
K-A-N-A-I or something like that.
Yeah, but all of that is like very, very like, oh, look what we learned. I don't know. I want to say it's like 3/4 of the way through the original is when you even remotely get the stuff from the beginning and the ending of this first episode. So I'm very curious about how it's going. And beyond that, both the original anime and the manga and this one have very different openings. The manga opening is completely different. The manga opening is like a gunslinger version of like the Berserk opening. It's very like, let's get super serious about all this, which is kind of interesting given how the show sort of plays out. I can see why they want to start at like this kind of further point with all of the anime adaptations. I'm holding my breath though. I'm really holding my breath because having Meryl be the rookie is very different and very weird for me.
It's a total turnaround for it.
She was the seasoned veteran in their job, and she had a young Kohai that was working with her. And she was the funniest part of a lot of episodes for me.
Yeah, it's very different. Here
it's
she's
so
very
different.
much here she's just the POV, she's the POV character.
It's so I don't know about this new guy.
I like the new guy, yeah.
Roberto or whatever his name is. I can see them telling the story and having it be okay. But like I remember, if I'm remembering the original correctly, the first time he goes into a plant, he just goes in alone. They don't all go like follow along to see what he's talking about when he's like, "Oh, this one's red." I don't think you get to go into the plant with him on the first one. Let me catch up a bit on chat here. How do you guys deal with those slow ass frames? Seriously, is that normal for anime? With the CG, or are you talking about something different? Because CG will tend to slow stuff down just because they can. Whereas like 2D, they have to draw
You have
more.
to mess with it more. It's different. Yeah.
I will say 1000%. Why the hell does he have a 22?
That's pretty dumb. Yeah. I don't know why you'd ever have a 22.
It doesn't make sense in
It's not a main armament
sense of the word. Not the least of which, he's in a Badlands. He's in a no man's land. He's in like an old west, right? If you can't reload ammo or something, like that becomes kind of a pain. That's why so many of those old revolvers are all like individually loaded cartridges, or you would load the cartridges up and get them all in, and then you put the caps on the back of the cylinder. Like you had to sometimes like craft your ammo back in the day. 22 is notoriously difficult to do that. You like, some people do reload 22, but most people don't. So giving him a gun where you have ammo that's super tiny and not really useful sort of removes the fact that he has a deadly weapon. Like, part of the point with him, he obviously doesn't want to like shoot the other guy, is that he's supposed to have a weapon capable of killing people all the time.
What creatures could he even kill with a 22? Like, do you think those bird buzzards even die if you shoot them with a 22?
Most stuff will die with a 22, because like 22 was the weapon used by the IRA, because a 22 round is fast enough to enter your skull, but it's not fast enough to leave. So it goes into your brain, scrambles up your brains, and then you die. You just have to be more accurate with it. But like anything smaller than like a raccoon, or raccoon sized or smaller, is going to be pretty easy to kill with a 22. Anything
those things were
bigger,
like easily bigger than a raccoon, I'd say.
Yeah, anything bigger than a 22 is going to be in that category where, or bigger than a raccoon is going to be where like the muscle structure of the animal is such that the 22 won't go deep enough to really cause enough damage. 22 is a seriously weak caliber. Should be using a 45 at the very least. 44 mag would be best. Honestly, it should be a 357 or it should be a 44, one of the two. Those are your 45 long Colt. Those are your cowboy revolver rounds, which is what he's supposed to be. He's supposed to be a cowboy with like a cowboy gun. He should have a 357 or a 44 or a 45. And that's part of the look. That's part of the idea. Giving him a 22 confuses people that are into guns, and people that aren't into guns don't care either way. So it's a very weird choice overall. Very weird
that is one
choice.
thing I didn't understand. That is one thing I didn't understand. I was like, he's using a 22.
Because they even acknowledge like that it is a smaller one, because when he opens his gun up to load it, he has like 10 holes in his cylinder, which most 22 revolvers are 10 round cylinders. Like that's
It's
a
only
very
eight,
like
actually. Yeah,
it was
I went
8.
back to
Okay.
count. Yeah, it's just 8.
But there's more than 6. Like that's a thing you do when you have a smaller round, is you can put more in a single cylinder. So like they know enough about guns to know to give it more rounds with a smaller caliber. So if it being 22 isn't like a part of the, like, here's what needs to happen, because they had conversion revolvers back in the day. There's a bunch of Clint Eastwoods actually where he had to learn how to do the conversions for filming, because he would have a scene where he would be like talking to somebody as he walked at him, and he would be swapping the cylinder out. Because they had guns back in the day where you could swap out the cylinder. So him having swapped it from something to the 22 needs to be a plot point. There needs to be a reason that he's carrying a 22, because they're just saying, "Oh, it's a 22." It doesn't make any sense. And you'll learn later why the caliber of this gun is so unimportant that it's dumb that they are even saying, does anyone have 22 ammo? Like that entire thing is so dumb. As we get farther into the show, and I can talk about more spoilery things moving forward. But yeah, that was a weird one. I'm not a fan of Millie Thompson not being in it. The fact that they're reporters and not insurance people isn't the worst thing. Because in the original,
she was insurance.
They're insurance agents who are following him around because he's the humanoid typhoon, and they're basically saying, we're not paying out for insurance because he's a act of God, basically. So it's pretty funny. So I'm interested to see if the reporter angle follows along in some way that is meaningful, or if they just changed it to change it because nobody knows what an insurance adjuster is anymore.
I would assume that's more likely. I assume it won't change anything in that aspect.
Yeah, it seems less of a big deal, but it's still kind of like a why I don't get it. I don't like the early scenes being this early in the series, but we'll see. Maybe they have a little hint of the past in each episode. It's just sort of a scheme that this new show is going with. That would be potentially interesting or whatever. I'm gonna watch it again. It looks so good. Vash is still goofy, and I have just a few issues based on what I remember really liking about the original. But there's all of this. Everything I've said is something that can be overcome with a clever director.
Yeah, I would say I would be willing to watch the whole thing, even if I wasn't committed to already doing it before the season came out. I was just like, yeah, it's a pretty notable show to talk about this season, so I'm just going to watch the entire thing if I don't like it. But I really like that first episode because I am animation fiend, and their stuff is beautiful. One of the best looking shows I've ever seen. It's the best CG, best looking CG show I've ever seen. So
100%.
Gotta watch that.
Yep. Let's see what else we got. Going smooth. This gun is tiny too. Should be Mataba or Choppa Rhino size, big boys. Hughes 45 long Colt in the OG. The gun is physically still huge.
Yeah, it's actually pretty thick.
That's the weird part. Is it's like he bought like the like somebody's 22 conversion into like the Vash gun, right? Like someone found like a Smith & Wesson 22 that they put a bunch of garbage on to make it look like Vash's gun.
I was gonna say one thing that could be believable is if he just didn't have other ammo and he actually did have the other like just cylinders to put it in instead.
Yeah, if that's something, that would be
that
okay,
would make sense. And
he's
he
like,
actually brings out the better one later.
I've got my varmint cylinder in right now. Someone throw me a 22. Okay, it makes a little more sense, but that seems like a really weird thing to have to waste screen time explaining, you know? And then the fact that the 22 blew up that chunk of rock enough to spread it around, and like that's like,
that's what
I've seen 22 do some things you wouldn't expect 22 to do. But that was still kind of silly.
Suspension of disbelief, but his like physical ability to dodge bullets, no, that's fine. Don't worry about that. That's okay. We get that. That's normal anime.
Oh yeah.
Stuff. But the rocket exploding and hitting every rocket is the least believable thing I've seen this season.
Less believable than a bulletproof tray.
It is more believable that the tray is bulletproof, honestly, than that rock hitting every single rocket.
Yep.
That's the funny part.
What else we got? I remember when the Choppa Rhino, when we got one in our shop, and I was like, oh, Mataba, and it was like, nope. Like, oh, it's boring. They feel awful. I really hate them. They fire from the lower cylinder, so there's a bunch of weird clockwork that goes on inside them to make them function right. P38, Peter Venkman fan site singing. No more insurance evil. That's correct. Imagine if Big O had insurance agents. Walter Machine Cry. He should have a harem to make up for Millie. That's true. She was tall. She was worth like 2 women. They never paid out well, mostly. Exactly. P38s are cool. Very interesting plane design. Geminere with the P38 lightning knowledge. One of the most interesting dual fuselage planes from, was it dual fuselage? Or is it just twin tail? Hold on. P38 lightning.
Oh man, now you're gonna get me worked up.
About what?
The fact that Millie Thompson was cut out of Trigun Stampede, probably.
Apparently, Pixelation was telling me that, or he commented that she has a wanted poster in like the background of the bar. So I find that kind of interesting.
And there's a bunch of different wanted posters that could just be
twin
Easter
boom.
egg.
Yeah, I'm thinking in Easter egg. Also, Geminary, there is a Walter P38 as well, if you were unaware of the old German Nazi gun. But yeah, I'm here for it. I think they can get around the things that they are changing and still have the show be the same. I'm gonna need Wolfwood to smoke a cigarette, and for that scene where he like chews on a lollipop to be he took a lollipop from a kid or something like that, for his character to be maintained. But the fact that they've maintained Vash's character has me hopeful that they're going to maintain the next guy's character. So hopefully that continues.
See how well it turns out. I'll drop out here. I'll be back in the chat.
Okay.
After I go to the bathroom.
Sounds good. I'm getting you out of here. P38 was used in a mission to shoot down Admiral Yamamoto, I think is what you were trying to say. Fuck no, Millie was the best girl. It's true. Alex Moore will also fully watch all of Trigun. You're fully aware of the Yahtzee Pew Pew. You prefer the Imperial C96 and the P08 Luger. You know what's cool is when you see a Luger with all matching numbers. It could be a red 9. It could be, you know, like the most basic bitch Luger. But when you have the bottom of the magazine, the barrel, the frame, like just everything has the numbers matching, it feels right. It just feels good. You're like, oh, all number, like all it doesn't really mean anything if you want one to fire. If you're like, oh, I just want a Luger so I can shoot it to see what it feels like. 'Cause it feels weird. It's a weird feeling gun. But there's just something cool about it. All numbers matching. I like the red 9s because they have the cool grips. But yeah, the Lugers are very fun. Very fun guns. Why does he choose to use revolvers again? Semi-auto did exist in the late cowboy age. Why does Vash use revolvers? I mean, he's a how do I say this in the least spoilery way possible? He needed a large piece of metal that doesn't move so that he could utilize it in ways other than the ammo that you put in the gun. I think that's how I'm gonna say that. His original revolver is a little more unique, because if you think about it, he's in a goddamn space world, right? You see in this first episode, like, there's seeds or whatever these things are. I'm gonna say that knowing full well what they are, where they are flying through space, and he's getting jettisoned, and like, we're in a space future where I'm sure there's like laser guns, and he's got like machine guns and all kinds of other stuff that come out. But we're on this like weird desert planet, so we have to have something different. The point of him having a revolver, let's not mince words. He has a revolver with a big ass barrel that has a giant counterweight underneath it, because it's cool, because it looks cool, because Dirty Harry's cool, and big revolvers with big bullets is cool. But there is an in-universe reason as to why he has that specific one. But Luger's prone to jamming and light strikes. Yes, we all know. It's not a great when you have a tiny hammer and your mechanism does this instead of this. Why did cops use revolvers in the mid 20th century? People are against change. That is true. Don't read Omega. Don't become a nerd like Fansite. No. Hell yeah, because it's cool. That's the real reason at the end of the day. All right, last anime that I watched for this season. High Card. I went into it expecting casino anime. Oh, betting casino anime. And then there was like an opening. Something was getting stolen. Someone was running away. Stuff was blowing up. Helicopters, missiles, castles. I was like, what is going on around here? And then we had Jotaro's voice actor saying like, Orewa. And you're like, what? What are you doing here? What does any of this have to do with gambling? And then we had guy thiefing around the streets to help pay for the orphanage, and you're like, where are we now? And then thiefing around guy at the orphanage made it to the casino, and I was like, all right, finally, casino anime. And then we got some fun casino scenes where I'm like, yeah, keep going. And then like he finally like meets his match, starts losing. I'm like, bail out now. I'm like backseat gambling over here while he's playing at the table. I'm like, fold, get out, fold back out, get out the table. And it was fun. And then all of a sudden, our high cards became like the pivotal point of the show. We're trying to find Exodia. That's the whole thing. We got to build a 52 card Exodia is the whole name of the game now. And it looks interesting. It looks really fun. It's like different powers. It's like, ooh, it's Stand JoJo again. We've got like, we don't know what everybody's powers are going to be, but everybody's got different powers, and now there's 52 of them, and we got to get the card. And it's like, are we going to find the Joker? Is that going to be like the surprise twist at the end? It's like, I've got the Joker card, whatever it may be. But like, this is a wild show. I am here for it. It is designed well. The fight scenes were fun. Nothing stood out as glaringly annoying in any of the voices or the way things were written. The story is confusing as hell, and the ending leads me to believe that our buddies are going to hang out. I think it would have been more fun if he had the 2, and that the other guy had a mismatched 7. Because then you've got the worst hand in Texas Hold'em as the 2 guys that are going to work together I think that would be a little more fun than I think they're 2 and 5. But maybe it'll be more interesting later. What the hell was the topic? Yu-Gi-Oh or JoJo? That's what I'm trying to figure out. High card is Yugi JoJo, the collector of the trump cards. You were screaming fold. Exactly. I was gonna watch that when you end the stream or after work tomorrow. Oh, nice. Read it again unless you want some laughs at Blaine's expense. It's true. You will have some laughs. Yugi JoJo. You gotta know when to hold 'em. Know when to fold 'em. Oh my goodness. I feel like I was going to a like the Peter Pan ride in Disneyland. Is everyone familiar with the Peter Pan ride in Disneyland? I felt like I was going to that and sitting down in the Peter Pan ride, and then all of a sudden it took me into the Space Mountain tunnel, and it just started rocketing forward, and there were lights, and like everything started. I was expecting to have some fun sitting and watching people gamble and have some sort of high stakes around that, maybe some kaiji type thing. And we ended up with just wacky JoJo Yu-Gi-Oh! Power up super card fighting show. And I'm here for it, but I was not expecting it for sure. I would definitely enjoyed it though. Don't give me that eyebrow. Get that out of here. You never been to Disneyland? Thank the Lord. You should go to Disneyland at least once. Go to Disneyland in Japan. Disneyland and Disney Sea in Japan are very, very fun. Quite enjoy it. Don't go to Universal. Universal in Japan was kind of boring. I don't like that. Go to Tokyo Disneyland. And that wraps up the reviews. So when we do move to a weekly format, I think we'll be able to do much longer episodes because this all of these shows came out in this last week. And there's still more that haven't even had their first episode yet. And we are at 2.5 hours. 2.5 hours in just talking about the shows that aired, with some sidetracks and some housekeeping to get out of the way. So I think we'll be able to have some fun long ones. So I'm looking forward to see where the channel goes. But again, for now, we are sticking to the Monday through Friday. There may be, I can't guarantee that there won't be any cancellations. We may have a few cancellations just because something gets delivered late at night that I've got to install or something. But we will see what that is when that comes, and I'll keep everybody apprised of when the change will occur. So no worries. I will see everybody tomorrow, and we'll have a good time. Yeah, Universal and USA going to be dope in about 3 years. They're going to build a massive expansion. Oh, well, in Japan, it's 20 times better. 100%. Blaine will be missed. TVT. It's cry face. No tears. We don't do tears around here. Understood? That it means everyone has to save their jokes until then. Yeah, we'll have a good solid 30. I'll be missed. Rip. I'm not dying. You may lose the will to watch seasonal shows. No, you have to be a part of the weekly discussion. But again, we'll find time then. We're not changing yet. We're keeping it like it is for now. But just know that there will be an alarm that goes off later. But then it's like here's what's gonna happen. That LNI sign off is gonna take forever. and everybody's gonna forget that I had this talk. And then when I'm finally like, oh, I finally got it back, they're gonna be like, what? No, you didn't say that. That's gonna be what everything's gonna end up being. Anyway, thank you everyone for hanging out, for chatting. It's good to be back. Good to see everybody still there, chatting, having some fun, talking some anime. That is a really, really fun thing to do, and we've got a fun crew that's able to laugh and make fun of each other. So I like the chat. I like you guys. It's fun. It's fun. It's exactly what I was hoping for when I started talking on the internet about anime. So I'm looking forward to keeping this going in whatever way I can. So have a wonderful rest of your night. I will catch you tomorrow for another episode of Blaine's Escape Corner, wherein we talk about whatever anime I go watch tonight, and if I can squeeze something in during my lunch break tomorrow. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. Kampai.